Okay, so I did my printmaking presentation on Dog Boy. As I said before in class, the reason I picked him was because I found his name pretty funny, and I guess I'll show you what I found out about him. So, who Dog Boy is? Well, I did a lot of research, and the most amount about him that I could find was that Philip Huntington is his real legal name. I could not find anything about his age, his date of birth, none of that. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia article. He currently resides in London in the United Kingdom. He is a graduate from Camberwell College of Arts, and he incorporates old-fashioned screen printing with digital medias for his pieces. So what he often does is he takes his art pieces and he makes a lot of it digitally, and then he transfers that onto screen print, and that's how he generally creates the final pieces. They start off as digital and then they move into the actual printing of them. There's been a lot of different descriptors for his style. I would definitely say that is very deep-rooted in sci-fi and mythology and kind of dystopia of society. And he is currently working with Adult Swim on a bunch of different t-shirt designs and posters that include characters from their shows, which is very interesting and cool. Here's some of the Adult Swim work that he did. The characters that are on this are characters from the Rick and Morty show, and they're just kind of mishmashed with what his normal style is, just with these distinct characters. So the major series that I found when I'm researching Dog Boy is the above series. It's kind of the most popular one that he has created so far. They're created, like I said, through both digital printing and screen printing, but he's built up many layers. Some of them even have as many as 9 layers of just printing over top of them to create the full pieces. They're a grand mixture of printing and illustration techniques. He is using a lot of psychedelic colors to create them, and the made-up interactions and places create a very surreal experience with his cartoonish characters that are almost mythological in a way. They're filled with a lot of devilish-looking creatures. I mean, nobody looks human in a sense, and he describes them as working towards the creation of an alternate reality. And a lot of the websites that I found that were describing these pieces as they're depicted as either society that is far, far away removed from us, or it's a conversation about what society today is like through these interesting psychedelic illustrations. I found this one particularly interesting because of the composition that's behind it, especially with the purple tubing along the bottom and how it brings you up towards the one building that's on the left-hand side. I find it really interesting because it's kind of a grand scheme landscape as opposed to the more close interactions that he does in his works. I was also a really big fan of this particular piece because it looks like a band performance amongst these weird goblin-like creatures, and it almost seems like it's a mosh pit, but you could also see it as like a riot in a sense because of all the smoke that's surrounding it and the bright lights. It almost seems like something very intense is happening, but it's like planned chaos. He actually has a couple different links to his specific website. They're really interesting. It actually shows a lot of the work that he has completed for other people, along with more from this particular series. He actually is commissioning currently, so if you're looking to have a piece done by him, you could get in contact with him. He also has a Twitter, which I have found is his primary social media output. It's where he kind of posts where his work is being created, and I guess works that are in the means of being created. It's very interesting. He's a pretty cool guy, and I would suggest looking more into him.